I am live like Memorex. Good morning, Duct Tape Bandit. Are you having a great weekend? Hello, Poutine Camo. How are you doing this morning, sweetheart? Tracy Ann, good morning. Soul Sister. Soul Sister. How you doing? Welcome. Welcome to the stream. I hope you are all having a great weekend so far. Or had a great week this past week. Whichever it may be. Because I think about it, timeline, dateline. I don't know where everybody is in the world. It could be Sunday there. Good morning, Soccer Mom of One. Patricia, good morning. Welcome to the stream. Did we have a great week? Anita, good morning. I'm going to put my glasses on. Hold on. 1 second. That's better. Reichardt, good morning. Deneen, good morning. Tiger Paw and Bambino, good morning. I've never made it to one of your lives before. Ta-da! This is it. Normally on Saturday mornings, it's just a general discussion, catching up with everyone and seeing how, there's a lot of creators who have, YouTube creators and Instagrammers, TikTokers who are in here, who will pop into the chats. They're using other accounts other than their main account. Oh, thank you for the super chat. Leave it to Beaver. Love my Beaver. Good morning, my friend. I pray you're doing well. Just stopped by to show some support. And I do think we need a reform, complete overhaul. Maybe this will help the process. I hope so, too. But I was saying that Saturday mornings normally is a general discussion amongst friends and fans and just everybody just getting together and having a cup of coffee. But today, I wanted to address the George Floyd case, the verdict in the case, and Derek Chauvin. I wanted to get some feedback from the community and those out there on the case. The first part that I wanted to discuss was the actual sentencing has been pushed off to June 26th. And at that time, I'm not 100% sure if Chauvin will be able to bond out, if he is able to, if they're going to give him bond so he can bond out to appeal. But just kind of wanted to get everybody else's take on that. On what do you think about the verdict and everything involved? Hope your week was good, Will. It was Soccer Mom of One. Hello, my cat's name is Puppy, and Puppy's name. You know my name is a lot. Thank you for the welcome. Well, Tiger Paw and Bambino. I welcome everybody, and I want everybody to be here to be part of the discussion. Good morning, faithful one. Guilty as charged. Well, he's guilty as the 3 counts that he was facing. He was found guilty on it. Mike Stevens, good morning. I hope he doesn't get out. Glad he's guilty. No, Tiger Paw, I didn't expect it either. I thought that it was going to go one or two ways. I thought they were either going to convict him on the lesser charge or they were going to acquit him altogether. And I was just hoping by all means that, they didn't, that wasn't the verdict that came out of it, because, well, I think the entire state of Minnesota would be on fire right now if that would have came down. Mike thinks it's premeditated. Oh, thank you, Beaver. I was watching a legal panel the other day. It had prominent attorneys, defense attorneys, and two former prosecuting attorneys one from Minneapolis, one from St. Paul, who were on the panel. And they were talking about the actual charges that Derek Chauvin was charged with. And they had never seen anything like it, and they were going on the panel for the number of years of experience. Every one of them had over 20 years experience, practicing, defense or prosecution, as a prosecutor. They had over 20 years experience in the positions of where they are right now. And they had never seen those three charges levied against anyone before. All right. We're going to turn the ringer off on my phone. Chauvin's heart is solid black, not blue. There's a lot to the possible jury intimidation. With a high profile case like that, and with just the sheer massive amount of mainstream media coverage of not only the actual events, the actual trial, the settlement, all of that together, you package it all. It ran almost 24 hours a day, nonstop, on the internet, on TV, everywhere, billboards, talk radio. It was everywhere, especially in the Minneapolis metropolitan area. Why the judge decided not to sequester the jury on this really surprises me. The part I don't get is how now a 9-time felon who violently assaulted a woman can now be a hero. I don't know. A human life. I mean, what happened to George Floyd, regardless, of who he was and what his past was? He didn't deserve to die. But I don't know, did Derek Chauvin actually intend to inflict serious bodily harm to George Floyd? Did he have a premeditation to what he was doing? Did he know if he pressed his knee on the back of his neck like that with his head turned, that he would die? Or the likelihood was that, of causing the severe bodily harm? I don't know. It's hard to crawl inside someone's mind to actually know what they were thinking at that exact moment, time, and everything else. And, I have other opinions of it, but I don't have any factually, any way to factually base, my opinions on. So I just refrain from talking about them. And I think we would be foolish to think that if he would have been found guilty, it would have been awful. Anybody who watched that video felt something training or not, it wasn't right. I think so, Mike. They took the opportunity because they knew each other to kill him. there could have been other ways to do it. He could have, you know, a lot easier ways. Could have said that he was struggling, you know, stop resisting, and he could have shot him while he had him on the ground. But I don't know. I don't know. I read a lot about Derek Chauvin and Floyd, the individuals themselves outside of this actual case itself. It's hard to to crawl inside that mindset. And like, did he really intend to cause severe injury or death? I just can't get there, to say to the point where I can say, yeah, he meant to do that. I mean, he may have. I don't know. I don't think anybody's ever really going to know, what he was thinking in that exact moment. There are allegations, that he had been excessive in other times with other people. Good morning, Molly. Oh, Brianna, is she the one that was shot in her bedroom in the house? Good morning, Anna Brown. Good morning, hello, sunshine. Welcome to the stream. Well, thank you for the super chat, Tracy Ann. I appreciate that. I really do. I think he hated Floyd and he wanted him dead, and had an excuse to do it. Die Andy. Good morning. Welcome to the stream, Die Andy. Yeah. For Breonna, isn't it Breonna Taylor? They definitely had a no knock warrant. It's a crying shame. Brianna wasn't in her bedroom. They proved that with the camera footage. Oh, well, I guess I'm mistaken on that case, and I thought she was in bed or in the bedroom. Good morning, Colleen. How are you doing this morning, Colleen? I hope you had a wonderful week. Shay, good morning and welcome to the stream, Shay. I'm shocked he was still employed with the Minneapolis Police Department after doing that. All right, I want to give you guys some context when it comes to the Minneapolis Police Department and my personal interactions with the Minneapolis Police Department. Now, in case you are not aware of this, I grew up across the border from Minneapolis, St. Paul, in Prescott, Wisconsin. And we still have a family farm there, family home, and everything else. And I have a lot of family that still lives there. Likewise, I have a lot of family that lives in the Minneapolis area and suburbs, St. Louis Park, Edina, and stuff like that. But when I was younger, this is in the 80s, though, I used to hang out in an area in the downtown Minneapolis area about 5 blocks from where George Floyd was murdered. Okay. So I'm just kind of painting you a picture of my experience in that area and with those communities and everything else. And I used to hang out there and go. I practically lived in these 2 bars. It was the 1st Street, 7th Street entry. They're on a corner. It's 1st Street and 7th Street. And I used to go to these 2 bars constantly. Along with at the opposite end of the corner was a record store, like vinyl records. And for those who are too young to remember what a vinyl record is, it's those black things that your parents listened to music on and went around and around and around. But I still collect them to this day. But anyways, I digress. So when I was younger, and I lived in that area, in downtown Minneapolis, and it wasn't the best area part of Minneapolis at the time, but it was damn cheap to live there because when my family moved out to the West Coast, I didn't want to go. I was like, screw them, because we had moved back and forth so much. I was like, you know what? I'm tired of moving. I'm just gonna stay here. And I got myself I guess it's like a loft apartment with 3 other friends, and we made a go of it. But I had so many terrible interactions with the Minneapolis Police Department then in the 80s. And these people were just becoming officers, in the Minneapolis Police Department. Maybe they'd been on the force 1-2 years. Some of them, were, higher ups. They were patrol sergeants and stuff like that. But it didn't matter. It was so freaking corrupt then, at that time in the mid to late 80s, that, I mean, if you were anyone of color, another, religion, you knew then, and it was very clear. You never called the Minneapolis Police Department if you needed help. You dealt with it yourself. Small little pockets, communities in that area dealt with whatever went, somebody broke into your house, the community got together and they controlled what was going on and how justice would be served. Somebody, drove into your parked car, in front of your apartment. The community took care of it because you couldn't rely on the police department then to deal with crime. As sad as it is. And then it never got any better. I mean, I left, but I would come back every single year for, to visit my family and to everything else. And we knew it was just something, especially in those areas in downtown Minneapolis, you just didn't rely on the police for anything. And last time I was there was just a couple of years ago, and I've never stopped going. I just know if you want anything done, you had to take care of it yourself. And that's terrible that when the community for so long has had total distrust in the actual police department. Now, don't get me wrong. There are a lot of good officers that are out there, within the Minneapolis Police Department that I'm sure they're, obviously I'm narrowing in on, I'm only seeing the ones that are bad. I mean, I have names and some of them that I remember, and I'm sure they're still on the force. And those are the ones that are going to get the attention. They're going to get their the moment of spot in the spotlight. When the good ones never seek out the limelight. Nobody comes up to them and gives them a pat on the back and says, "Hey, thank you for helping me find my missing 6-year-old." They're never going to do that. That's not going to make the evening news. It's not going to make the front page of the Tribune. But people like George Floyd, they're going to make the news every time. And people don't. They kind of like, no, they're not, man. The big blue wall is going to protect them. They've tried to get rid of those out there who are terrible, who have done wrong, and it's not easy. You can't just fire someone because you don't like them or you don't think that they're right for the position. There's a lot of things that are out there that that people are not realizing. It's like, oh, you know what? If Derek Chauvin was such an asshole and nobody liked him, why didn't they just fire him? There's a union. There are ways that have to and steps that have to be taken. But if I was in Minneapolis right now, I wouldn't trust the Minneapolis Police Department myself. I'm white. This is white skin. It has nothing to do with my skin color, my tone. or my social economic level, my education level. It has nothing to do with that. I don't think race really played into it at all. I think Derek Chauvin was just a complete fucking jackass. And he wanted to do whatever the hell he wanted to do because he had a badge and a gun. Is he a racist? Maybe. I don't know. I've never met the guy. But there are a lot of bad cops out there. There are a lot more great cops out there, though. It's the bad ones that always, they ruin the profession for everybody. Nobody wants to do it. Anna Brown, you're going to Minneapolis in June for the Prince Festival. You're traveling from Kentucky. I hope you enjoy your time there. If you're in Minneapolis and you have extra time and you want to see something that is really good, an understated gem of in downtown Minneapolis, is go see the Minneapolis Metropolitan Art Museum in downtown Minneapolis. It's a pretty good area. Sort of. It's kind of hard to say that. It all depends on what you consider safe. I mean, it's easy access right off the freeway. Plenty of parking. And some of the best art I've ever seen in art, exhibits ever I've seen, or I've been there. I mean, besides what I've seen in New York, in other larger cities, but I don't want people to get the wrong idea of it. But if you're going to stay, anyway, there's some really good motels that are just outside of Minneapolis, going towards St. Louis Park that way. But it's cheaper places. There are good cops out there. That is true. It's the bad ones that destroy everything. Yeah. And I was having this discussion with my wife about how many people die at the hands of interactions with bad police officers every year, and we were looking at the actual statistics according to the Department of Justice. Now, even the Department of Justice lists that there is probably about 20% that are 20 to 22.5% that are never reported to the actual. So there's no statistics on them. So, but you have to add that to the total overall bad interactions with law enforcement. How many actually die at the hands of law enforcement officers versus how many die for incompetency because of a doctor who prescribed the wrong medication, misdiagnosed a test result or an x-ray, or made a medical error? Well, they have insurance that covers that, malpractice insurance that covers their incompetency and their mistakes. And if they kill their patient, rarely are they, and if it was a mistake, or if they did it because they're tired or overworked or they're having issues at home, whatever the reason may be, they have a malpractice insurance that covers it. It just pays out, but they're hardly ever, prosecuted for their errors. And it's a staggering number of how many people die, because of incompetency or medical mistakes. Versus, but nobody looks at a doctor and says, "Don't ever become a doctor." We all want our kids to grow up and be doctors and lawyers and such, to borrow a line from a famous song. Good morning, Kathy. Very merry. Good morning. Just dropping in to say hi. It's a crying shame. Keeping bad cops on is more of a leadership issue than an individual cop issue. Me and my wife are reading this story about an officer who was on the force in the Dallas-Fort Worth area with the Dallas-Fort Worth Police Department. He had multiple allegations of excessive force, violations of constitutional rights. His boss had demoted him 3 times. He then went to the union. The union then gave him back his position, his rank. And thank you for the super chat, Barry Mary. Happy Saturday! Congratulations on your sub milestone. Thank you very much. But I really appreciate the super chat. But his actual direct boss tried to rein him in or to get rid of him, but because of the union contract, between the union and the actual city of Dallas-Fort Worth, they couldn't get this guy out of his position. They took him off patrol. They put him on a desk job, and they did everything else. But he still had a gun. He still had a badge, and he still had a freaking attitude problem. And I think it took like 9 months before they were finally able to get rid of him, but not before he beat his wife to death. Because of it was still in the criminal stage, like a pretrial. It didn't list the officer's name, so we couldn't look it up. So we were trying to Google reference, officer, interactions and Dallas-Fort Worth, beat wife. We were trying all kinds of things, and we were able to find like 3 different individuals that came up with officers and assaults on domestic assaults, but we couldn't find anything that actually matched the time frame pretty much. So I mean, it's terrible. In a lot of places, these union contracts make it so hard for them to be able to take actions. I mean, they need them in a lot of circumstances. I don't want people to take it that that I'm bashing on unions. I've been a union man most of my life. It's just, I don't know. I don't have the answers. And when it comes to the George Floyd and Derek Chauvin case, I'm just so sad that it's gotten to that point. What took place, and trying to just wrap your head around it. If you actually logically sit back and look at the evidence in the case, and you look at it, and you try to think of it from put yourself aside and just look at it with a clear eyes and perspective. And then try to think of it as, from that perspective, and then step aside again and then think of it from the perspective of what it looks like and what it must be like to be someone of color in one of those neighborhoods where this asshole patrolled every day. That's hard. That is really hard. And then I know personally, like I was saying, people have had no trust in the police department since going back to the mid 1980s. Yeah, it could go back even farther. It can go back another 50, 60 years from that or more that they haven't had trust. I just know from my perspective, from my experience there, that from the mid 80s onward, nobody had, any, it's not respect, confidence that they were going to do the right thing, that they were going to be there for you. And some of that might be leadership, some of it might be their interactions, or a combination of all of it. Even moving from Flint to a place not under that kind of leadership has been more wonderful. The cops are 100% different. I'll give you. It's a crying shame. That's great. I'm glad that you've experienced that. Different interactions within dealing with police departments and stuff like that. Now, here where I live now, I have three friends who work for a local police department. It's another city. I think actually they're in a different county because they're over. Yeah, no, they're in the same county as me. There's like three counties here. That's why it's kind of hard for me to figure out like what county people are in, cities are in. But I have three friends who are in law enforcement there, and they would never dream of doing anything like what Derek Chauvin did. I mean, there are so many things about the entire incident that just don't make sense. It's like, why would somebody do what he was doing? Looking through their eyes, at the videos, of the video of the incident, it's like, why would he do that? That's wrong. I mean, there's so many things that led up that he did wrong, all the way up to the point before he even put his knee on his neck. Kathy, in a lot of ways, law enforcement. I know for the county that where my friends work, they've got positions they can't fill. They have the money, they have the budget, they have the positions open, but because of people retiring or moving away for other reasons, they can't fill the positions. Nobody wants to be in that field. And incidents like this taking place, they don't never help. They never help. It's like, hey, you know what? Why don't you become a law enforcement officer? Should only be blue. Rykart, did you see the pictures from that you can probably find them on Google of what it was like for the jury coming and going from the Minneapolis and the George Floyd case. Excuse me. They had these officers in full tactical, all blacked out gear, riot gear, that were there every morning that greeted them as they were coming in and out of the area to be jurors. And the outside of the courthouse there. Now I've been to that courthouse quite a few times. Me and my friends used to hang out there and actually skateboard up and down the left side of the building. But beside the point, it would look like a war zone. All the buildings around with the windows were covered with plywood. The streets were barricaded off with concrete barriers, chain link fence with barbed wire. And these jurors had to come through and see this every day. Why they weren't sequestered, I don't know. Yeah, very well could. Hello, sunshine. Debbie Mayhew. Good morning, Will. I support the police, and I think it's a shame that people just go along with what's being said because they're scared to say they support the law enforcement. Yeah, I've dealt with my fair share of backlash. Being I can't remember who it was. He used to be on the channel all the time, but I did a couple of videos where I actually had it's the American flag with the blue line, thin blue line in it as a background on when I was streaming, and he would give me so much shit about it. How dare you be in front of that? That's a disgrace. They don't want me to. Yeah, you read that too, duct tape? Isn't that messed up? You block the road, you can hit them with your car, and if they die, you can't be prosecuted for it. remember to turn the camera back on. I completely back the blue, but I cannot be blind to the fact of reform, in my personal opinion, every single government system we have needs overhaul. Beaver, I'm going to have to agree with you there. There is a lot of bureaucracy, in trying to get things done. I mean, if I had to start somewhere, with one single department that needs to be overhauled, and if I had to start somewhere, I would start with the Department of Child Services. I'd start there. The bureaucracy that is involved there, unbelievable. Oh, FYI, you're going to get a kick out of this one, Beaver. Me and my wife have an open file with Child Protective Services because my daughter, when she was in the 3rd grade, and this is her, she's just who she is. She loved to eat garlic, raw garlic. She'd go in the refrigerator and take a piece of clove and she would just suck on a piece of garlic. I mean, it's not going to hurt her. She liked the flavor of it. Well, she went to school and she smelled like garlic. Some kids complained. A teacher complained. They called Child Protective Services. That file is still open to this very day because we were possibly neglecting her well-being because she smelled like garlic. My daughter, just a week ago, turned 24 years old. And we found out the case is still open. By putting in the actual case number on the state website, it shows open. She was in the 3rd grade. Why do we have things like this even available? I mean, I can understand. Look, there might be, this child is dirty. Maybe he's being neglected. Maybe he's a little malnourished. I can understand looking into those things. But do we need to have cases open 16 years later, where they're still possibly investigating someone because their daughter showed up at school because they smelled like garlic? But I would start with Child Protective Services. And then there are all the horrible things, that happen. Like Mia Karen or Mia something. I can't remember the 16-year-old who was shot by the officer just before the George Floyd verdict. She was in Child Protective Services in a foster home there. Well, thank you, Debbie. I don't have time in life for all the bullshit out there. Sorry for excuse my language. I look at life and it's like, none of us are guaranteed a tomorrow. Do you want to be remembered, for, telling the truth, or do you want to be, remembered as being, an asshole who is going to use everybody to get anything that you want? Like, some other people will just say that, other creators. The truth will set you free. This is absolutely ridiculous because they would have had to do was a home visit and clear it out. I have a situation too. I won't share it, but yeah, did absolutely nothing wrong. It's insanity. It is. In the case with my daughter, Bieber, they came and they talked to us, and that was it. They came one time. They investigated, the home visit, because I do remember they came to our home, and the lady left, and we thought for sure, well, this case would have been closed a long time ago. But it's been open all these years, and it's still open today. She's 24 years old. At this stage in development, in life, if you take a look at it, I mean, hell, she could have children of her own almost in the 3rd grade by now, right? How old's a 3rd grader? So 5. So what, 10, 11, right? She's 24. No, maybe she wouldn't have kids in third grade. She'd have kids in at least in elementary school by now. I don't think she's ever going to have any children, though. But never know what's going to happen in the future. Very merry, way too many of those creators. I know a couple personally myself. Yeah. Caroline. Good morning, Caroline. Sorry if I missed you earlier. Gayla, good morning. I hope you both had a wonderful week, and welcome to the stream. I hope I didn't miss anybody else. Karen Cadle, good morning. Third grade is 8. Okay, so it's 24 now. I mean, I guess she could, but she doesn't. She doesn't have any children. I just don't think at this point in stage in her life, she's 24. She's way too much involved into getting her next degree. Education is more important to her right now, and she's always expressed that no interest in ever having children of her own. Although she loves her brother, she really does. I mean, she's a great young lady. I think me and my wife have done a damn good job. You know, especially since nobody handed us a book on how to raise a child. I think we did pretty good. Because when she was born and we were first, we were busted broke. We were very, very broke. Living paycheck to paycheck would have been a dream back then. Just to be able to get that far, be able to make our money last from paycheck to paycheck, that would have been good. Life now is vastly different, and my son's going to have a vastly different, upbringing than she did, because where we are financially in security and emotionally is a lot different from then. But that's how life goes. We do our best. Every one of us does our best, don't we? Glowworm, good morning. Welcome to the stream. David McCluskey, welcome to the stream, David. Juniverse, good evening, morning. Hope everyone is doing well. I've just got home from geocaching. Oh, I love geocaching. Me and my daughter used to do that when she was younger. I love it. Geocaching with my grandson, fun but exhausting. Yeah, but it is so much fun. The coolest one that me and my daughter ever found was. Let's see if I can find something that is close to the size. I don't have anything around here. Oh wait, it was like this little plastic box about that big, all right, and it had little like plastic trinkets in it, that you'd probably get in like one of those gumball machines, and then there was like a bunch of challenge coins in there, and we had brought a pack of M&Ms, but they were the regular M&Ms, the chocolate ones, and this was like in fall, so it wasn't the summertime, so we weren't really worried about that. And she also brought a bunch of little trinkets, little charms that go on bracelets or on a necklace. She brought one of those to put in. But in the challenge coins that were in there, what super cool was I got it. I don't know where it is right now. There it is. I actually know where that is, where that coin is. This is a Doyle Brunson challenge coin. It says right on one side, be a winner Super System 2 Challenge coin, and it's got like a facsimile of his signature on that side, and the other side says world class poker, Doyle Brunson. But I got that in the geocaching thing. Super cool. I use it as a placemaker with ball marker on the greens when I golf. And yes, I will be golfing later on this afternoon. Now, before I forget, everyone, if you're sensitive to noise, please cover your ears for a minute, because I've had this thing sitting over here on my desk. Well, it's a bookshelf actually. I've had it sitting on the bookshelf now for 3 weeks, and every stream I keep on forgetting that I was asked what should I do to make my streams more interactive, and somebody said more cowbells. More cowbells was a suggestion to make my streams more interactive. So cowbells. For you, the viewer, you wanted cowbells? There's cowbells. We found papers so far. Oh, that's cool. We just keep on doing it. I mean, each and every one of them is different. I like putting the log in. The ones that we find around here, you write your name down and the date that you found it. But I mean, it's got to be at least 10 years since the last time we did it, because she's 24 now, so she was 14, 13, somewhere in there last time we did it. But it's super fun. I mean, talk about a cheap way, cheap entertainment. You can do as a whole family. If nobody else out there has ever tried geocaching, it's super easy. You can go anywhere in the world. They're hidden all over the place. And all you have to do is you write your name on it. I love looking at the log and see where other people are from, the locations, and just hunting for these little treasures, troves, boxes, or so it's fun. How about a Congo drum? A Congo drum, Glowworm? I do not own a Congo drum. I do have a snare drum in the house, but I don't have a Congo drum. I'll put that on my list of suggestions. I'm not kidding. I'm writing it down right now. And glow worm Congo drums. Now, I'm not going to play it naked like Matthew McConaughey, but I'll look into it. Thank you for the suggestion, Glowworm. Amazing walks with my dog, and little one gets excited. I'm excited about it. I loved it. I really did. Because sometimes it would take me and my daughter, we'd get to the actual GPS location, and you would never think where these things were hidden. It's like, okay, it's right here somewhere. Where is it? And you'd look around, you'd look on any benches, look on any trash cans or in bushes, and then you find you're getting ready to give up and think that somebody took the damn thing, and here it is sitting on a tree branch the whole time, and you just didn't think to look up. But that it's just that fun and excitement of it all. I really enjoyed it. And it was more of the hunt for the boxes or whatever, the container, the geocache. What is besides Minnie? A gnome. Isn't he freaky looking? He was all white, and then we painted him red and black for Halloween. But the homeowners association told us that we can't have them in our front yard because it's not the homeowners association approved. So this one and the other one he's all the way over the other side of the table, back over there. We can't have him in our front yard. So And we painted them. We had a whole entire display that we were going to put in the front yard for Halloween. But they said no, can't have them in the front yard. Can't put plastic flamingos in the front yard. Can't put lawn decorations. It falls underneath lawn decorations, gnomes. Can't put a bird bath. Can't put any kind of bird feeder, hummingbird feeder, or just regular bird feeder. Can't put that in, out in the front of your house. Bug zappers. Nope. Can't put any of that outside. So, and my wife makes, she builds bat houses, and we're beekeepers, so we have one hive in our backyard, but that's all we're allowed. And we had to get every neighbor around us to sign off to allow us to have bees. And if one of them would have objected, then they wouldn't allowed our, the one single hive in our backyard. I'm like, do you have any idea how much it helps everybody who has flowers? But that's the homeowners association. If you have to buy a new home, don't buy one in an HOA. And if you do, check out the HOA first to find out how strict they are. My mother used to hit me with a wooden spoon, then used it to cook with. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Patricia. I never got hit with a wooden spoon. My mother was, she was one of those who hit me with whatever she could find. Flip-flop, sandal, high heel shoe, cutting board. Yeah, there was no, butt whooping, instrument like a wooden spoon. Do you live in Stepford? Good Lord. Not me. Off subject, but has anyone seen the new Mortal Kombat? My nostalgia side was excited by it. No, but I was in a stream last night, and somebody had gone and seen it, the movie. I'm guessing you're talking about the movie. And we're like, okay, I didn't even know there was one. There. I have friends that will still whip their kids with a wooden spoon. They keep one in their purse. Wow. On the go for purposes. That's it. That's something I've never heard of before. Someone taking a wooden spoon with them to whoop their kids. I mean, you shouldn't do that anyways, but still, I've never heard of anybody taking one to go with them. Okie dokie. Good morning. Hey, my lovelies. I'm so late, but had other things going on. It's okay. Okie dokie. I hope you had a great week. Welcome to the stream. And thank you for the purchase of the super sticker, Mandy. It doesn't show me which one you got here, though. Now I'm on StreamYards, as you can see from the upper corner there. It's funny. I got a warning this morning with StreamYards. You're about to run out of time. And then I clicked on it. It says, when is it going to renew? It's going to renew at midnight tonight. I'm like, well, I guess I'm okay. They never stop the stream if you run out of time, because I'm on the free service. You get so many hours. I think it's 20 hours a month free. I could burn through that like that. I used to have the premium service with them, but because of a credit card issue, they double charged me. Then they said, well, we're sorry for doing that, and then they gave me the next month for free, and then after that month, then it double charged me again. And I was like, look, guys, I mean, I could sign up for the annual plan if you guys just stop doing this. And let's just say I didn't get the best customer support that time around. It kind of left an awful taste in my mouth. So I just use their free service. So it works for me. How's everything going, Mandy? It's going great. I hope everything is great in your world. Kimmy Jean. Hey, Will and everyone. Good morning, Kimmy Jean. Welcome to the stream. Love the name, by the way. I had a sister whose name was Kimmy Jean. Kimberly Jean, to be exact. But she passed on now 3 years ago. Lanky Tor Brown. Almighty. Good morning, Anna Brown. Oh, don't get me started about Jody Lanky Tor Brown Almighty. Mandy Hall is getting better finally. Thanks, Will. Good. Bye, Shay. Just Shay, not Shay. Just Shay. Have a great day, Shay. And if you get a chance, tomorrow night, 7 p.m., True Crime Trivia. Okie dokie, hugs. You're familiar with grief. It's part of life, though. Okie dokie. I know it sucks. It hurts, and sometimes we lose family members and friends way too early. And we're just not in an emotional state to deal with it. But at the same time, though, none of us gets out of this alive. And when our number's up, our number's up. I know that probably is not going to help you or anybody else, come to terms with it. And, and everybody, tried to console me after, when my sister passed. It was only thing that I ever got, that makes it better is time. But I know wherever she is right now, and this is the honest to God truth, ladies and gentlemen, wherever she is in this universe right now, my sister, Kimberly, is swearing like a drunken sailor about something so petty. Why is a pack of ho-hos $1.69? Instead of saying that, it'd be bleepity bleep bleep $1.69 bleepity bleepity bleep bleep. She always made me laugh, and she still does, because she's still alive here in my mind every day. I heard this yesterday. Did you know if you eat right, exercise, drink water, get sleep, you still die? What? No. Really? What was it? Was it Jack LaLanne? The fitness guru. He ate right. He juiced everything. He did everything right pretty much his entire life, and died of a heart attack. I was like, I think it was Jack LaLanne. It was one of those fitness, guys who used to do infomercials and stuff like that. We all want to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die to get there. That's true. That is true. Your mama passed on 7/18/2019. She was my mama and my daddy. I'm sorry, Anna Brown. Real Duck Bandit. TikTok is your new obsession. I've been asked an awful lot if I would open a TikTok, because I can make shorter little videos. And it would give another platform for me to, introduce people to, not only my channel, but everything else. But I mean, here on YouTube, you have stories. and then you have shorts, and they're the same length of time, you know, as a TikTok video. I think of TikTok, I think of, you know, well, TikTok, Instagram. I don't use. I have Instagram, but I don't ever use it. And maybe once in a great moon, I might post something to Instagram. I mean, it's not that the short video format doesn't work for my content and what I do. It's more that when I think of Instagram and TikTok, I think of 16-year-old girls, stupid challenges like planking or eating Tide Pods or something like that. That's what I think of, when I hear TikTok or Instagram. I mean, it kind of used to be like Vine. I used to have a Vine account, and I was one of the first beta testers for Casey Neistat's. What was his social media platform? Beam. But Casey Neistat sold Beam to CNN, and I don't think Beam is out there anymore. I'm not sure what TikTok is, Connie. Short little videos. Short little videos. That's the best way to put it. All 8 can think of is floss dance. Well, I don't know what that is. I don't get any of the trends. The trends all escape me. Connie, I'm going to have to agree with you there. I'd rather spend time on Instagram than Facebook. But at the same time, though, on the only thing I use Facebook for is for the true crime channel, the group for 411 Now. I have a true crime group there. And the worst thing about it is I got 420 some people that are in that group on Facebook. And there's like 3 of us that post. And everybody has the right to post and talk about any case that they want from the moment they join. Anybody can talk about anything. You have a true crime case that happened in your area, and you want maybe somebody else to look into it, or you want to talk about it. Everybody who's in that group can talk about it. But 420 people, I got 3 people who talk, or post anything in that group. I'm like, why do I even have this group? I'm not sure. Yeah, I hate Facebook is just, it's a dumpster fire to me. Well, do you think Scott Peterson will get a new trial? No, I don't think he's going to get a new trial. I think the best that Scott Peterson is going to get is probably, maybe if things work out for him, they're going to send him back to the bargaining table for resentencing. And he may get some time taken off, but no, I don't think he's ever going to get a new trial. He has the right to get a new trial, though. I mean, he was convicted. There are serious issues that happened, within that trial, especially when it came to jury selection and where the jury room was, and that radio station who put that giant billboard outside the jury window. With the phone number, they were shock jocks, AM, radio shock jocks or morning radio shock jocks. And they had posted that billboard right outside the jury window. So if anybody had opened the louvers in the jury room, they saw that giant, billboard right outside their window. Convict Scott Peterson, and the phone number to call in for the radio station. But if Scott Peterson gets a new trial, I'm going to freak out. He needs a death penalty. Well, for what he did to Lacey, and he deserves to be right where he's at. He doesn't deserve another day. 1 second, everybody. I have to text Tim back. Yeah, he's not going in. Scott Peterson's not going anywhere. I'm almost 100% sure on that. It would take a phenomenal amount of evidence or errors upon the court system to get him to the point where he could get a new trial. And then how is he going to dispute so many of the damning, so much of the damning evidence against him? I don't think even if he was to be getting a new trial, I think at best maybe he would, instead of a life sentence, maybe he gets 60 years, 50 years. Still going to be, he'd have to do what, 3/4 of it before he'd be eligible for release on a 50-year sentence. So add that to his age now. There's some people like that, Scott Peterson, Christopher, Watts, who I just believe that they don't deserve. We should have just said, look, you're guilty. You've been found guilty by your peers. That's it. Let's just done. Just walk them right into the death chamber. Get it over with. Morning, Chatterbox. Me and Tim we're trying to make a tea time, and the place we want to go, they don't have a tea time available, so we have to try to find another course to go play. How are you? Okay, Zelda. Good morning, sweetheart. I feel sorry for Lacey's loved ones, but he killed her, left her rolling around in the bay right outside his window. Hopefully it's haunting him and driving him even crazier. Yeah, I don't think that Scott Peterson has the ability to have empathy for Lacey or for anybody else that he hurt with his actions. And that's the truth. That is really how I feel. Just like Christopher Watts. I don't think he has the empathy to feel sorry for anybody that he hurt, but with his actions, for what he did. Did you see how they OD'd 77 prisoners on the COVID vaccine? I thought I wanted the death penalty, just not that way. I hope it's not the same medical people caring for them now. No, I hadn't seen that. It's a crying shame. Yeah, they're I mean, I think when it comes right down to it, though, about Scott Peterson, I think Scott Peterson really thought that he was going to get away with it. That he really thought that nobody was ever going to look at him and say that he would have done something like that. I really, really think that he thought that he was going to get with it. Christopher Watts, he's just a moron. He's just a moron who I don't think he had a thought going through his mind after what he did. He just acted on it and said, "Yeah, that's it." Both of them should have killed themselves. Just out of curiosity, what do you think about Casey Anthony? I think she's a bitch. Sorry for saying that word. I know a lot of people are offended by it, but that's how I feel. Casey Anthony and Chris Watts feels bad only for himself. I agree with you on Scott. Casey Anthony needs to have somebody treat her like she treated her daughter. How she got away with that is a complete injustice. And I don't know about you guys, but right now, I hear her name. The only thing I can think of is the pictures of her partying when her daughter was missing. Those pictures of her partying it up and drinking and having a good time while her daughter was missing. I don't think those images will ever leave my head. You love curse words, duct tape? She has a private detective agency now. I bet she's really good at finding missing children. Yeah, Zanny the nanny, right? Some people. I freak out like angry grandma when I ever think of Casey. I'm so salty about her out free in the world. Yeah, she's a private detective now. Her friend says it's not about solving, the murder of her daughter. It has nothing to do with that. Well, of course it doesn't. She did it. It's a travesty. Oh yeah. I mean, I think we all got that from the trial. She was Xanax. Hi, Mary. Good morning, sweetheart. I hope you are doing well right now. I hope you had a great week. Welcome to the stream. Sorry, I was trying to read a comment and to talk to you at the same time. I'm sorry. I hope you had a great week. Well, she probably gave it to her a lot. It's probably what ended up killing her was an overdose of Xanax. And I don't think they were ever able to determine what the cause of death was, did they? Because, again, she was found thrown away like the trash. But now there's a new trial that we need. We need to put her back on trial. That was the first trial you were obsessed over. It's a crying shame. There were so many times during that trial. It's a crying shame. I wanted to reach through my television and just knock the crap out of her. Her sitting there in her smug face, just smiling and laughing and carrying on with her defense attorneys and being happy, at all. I mean, your daughter is dead. Where is the care? Where is the something? You should be sad. Not Never wanted to smack someone so hard than I did when that case was going on. And I understand how you became obsessed by it. It was really easy to become obsessed by that. If I don't know, Chatterbox, maybe she'll write a book like OJ. If I would have done it, a hypothetical book, or something about how she murdered her daughter. I'm only 33 and I was pretty young. Seriously, look up Angry Grandma's Reaction. That is still me today. May he rest in peace. Angry Grandpa. Angry Grandpa. Reaction. Casey. Anthony. I'll look it up. Well, wouldn't that be nice, Zelda? Somebody, I mean, we're not giving anybody any ideas, but her private investigation business has a publicly displayed address, and it has a PO box they use for mail. But she actually has an office that she is working out of right now, so it can be Googled for anybody that would happen to come up with an idea like that on their own. Not from us. Not from us. We were just talking hypothetically about how she should be taken care of. Not us. We didn't plan it. We're not going to do it. We had no involvement in it at all. Bye, Pink. I hope you have a great day. Well, it's full of swear words. I'm okay with that. But thanks for the warning. It's a crying shame. I'll look it up after this. And for glowworm, I'll check out Congo drums. I definitely have snare drum. I don't have any Congo drums. I'm sure my son would love Congo drums. So he can join like a Congo, circle. Remember, in case that nobody remembers, that's how Matthew McConaughey was. He had partaked in some of the righteous herb, was in his own home, buck naked, and playing the Congo drums. His neighbor called the police. I think it was the L.A. Sheriff's Department. I think it was in L.A. But and reported the loud Congo drum playing at like 3 o'clock in the morning. They came to his home. He threw on a bathrobe, a pink bathrobe, no less. And of course, TMZ wasn't too far behind. But they arrested him for disturbing the peace and being under the influence in his own home, playing the Congo drums. How's the family? Doing great. Doing great. Let's see. My son is back to school. He's going to school Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays now. He's still they've cut the hours of classroom interaction, so they're back to school full time because he's in preschool. But he's going back to school full time but they cut the hours of instruction from 4 hours each day to 2.5 hours each day. And that way they're able to disperse all the kids out into so there's an AM and a PM, and then AM and PM each day. But then there are kids who need more direct supervision. That's probably the wrong word to use there. More instruction. There are children who need more instruction who also go on Wednesdays and on Fridays for additional instructions. My son doesn't go to that because we have him in occupational and speech therapy classes that we pay for privately. So he doesn't go. But, for those children who can't afford it, the school system has set up those days to help those children catch back up to where they should have been. So, but he likes it. He can't wait to go to school. We go to drop him off every Monday through Thursday now. And this past week, we walk up to the front door, and he gets in line with all the other students, and he just looks at me and goes, "Bye, Dad. Bye, Dad. See you soon. See you soon." It's so great to hear him actually, speak. But then when I go to pick him up afterwards, 2.5 hours later, he's like, "I don't want to go home. You go home. Your truck. Get in your truck and go home, Dad." He cracks me up. So good to see him finally coming out of his bubble. Such a sweet kiddo. And don't forget about you. You helped him. You helped him immensely. In case everybody, doesn't, just an FYI, everyone. Mary helped buy a set of headphones that has a speaker microphone on it, so he can actually, when he's sitting on his computer, he can actually hear himself in the headphones and actually speak and hear himself, so he knows, and the program he's working on, it breaks down simple words like our 2-word phrases, please, or I want, please, 3 words, or I need, or and then there's the object in a word, so they'll put a picture of broccoli on the screen. He has to say broccoli, and he can hear himself, but the headphones eliminate all the outside noise that's interaction to, because he's autistic. So think of it this way: if you've never met an autistic child, if you're sitting in a room and there's 3 people in the room or 2 people in the room, and he's trying to pay attention to what's going on, he hears each person breathing. He hears the car going by on the outside the house driving by. He hears, the dog barking, across the street 3 houses over. All of this is such an influx of, and he hears all of that. And then you're trying to communicate with them. And all those sounds and everything else and the stimulation just drowns out, everything. And it's kind of hard to concentrate. That's what it's like for him every day of his life. Every day that he is awake. Sounds something like prologue to go. Hope it helps him communicate better. Emma, I'm not sure what it's called. They have a book version of it, of this thing that he uses, and I can't remember what they call it though. So the book version he has, it's like a 3-ring binder, and it has little pictures and a little piece of Velcro in the back. He can take the words like help and put it on the Velcro strip at the bottom, and then the object that he needs help with. or he can make out sentences like, yesterday, Daddy learned this the wrong way. He said, he put the "I want" on the Velcro strip, and then in the book there's food, there's snacks, there's and all kinds of things. You could, as he wants to communicate them. I want strawberry, or I want apple, or I want snack, or I want lunch. He can, so the first tab is "I want," and then the next tab that he can move to it is what he's actually wanting. But this is a computer version of the same thing, and it's more interactive with him. But as he says it into the microphone, he hears it, and he's able to block out with the headphones, the aid of the headphones, to block out all those external noises that are constantly barraging him. So, and he can hear it, and then as he says it into the microphone, he can hear it, and then it makes small corrections here and there on the speech and what he's saying. So it really helps him. Well, I love how down to earth you are. You treat this family as one. Love what you do. Don't ever change. Oh, I am never going to change, Anna Brown. I'm never going to change. You don't have to worry about that. And thank you. Okay. 2 to bed if you're lucky to get into a hospital. That is the way my brain works since the accident. I'm sorry, Mary. I really am. I raised my grandson by myself. He is 3 and autistic. I need to get those headphones. Well, I know what you go through. He is the sunshine of my life. Me and my wife were never supposed to have another child, and tragedy, damn near tragedy, complete tragedy, and we almost lost her because of my wife is a breast cancer survivor, and we went through quite a few years of chemotherapy, radiation, and then she became she got sick because of the PICC line, got infected, and and there was like a good 4 years there of our lives that were everything you hope and everything you wish for was gone out the window. And the next thing we knew, after all the treatment and everything else, we ended up she got pregnant again, and they told her, okay, you're good to go, and we'll put the rest of the treatment and everything on hold. And it touch and go for quite a few years, but our son is now this many. He is 4. He's 4 years old. I know it's a spectrum disorder, and they like to classify people, like from the low end to the high end on the spectrum disorder. My son he's very bright. He just doesn't have the communication skills. So, and here's Tim. Come right in, sit right down.
Know the rest of it?
Huh?
Know the rest of it?
That's all I remembered. That's all I remembered this morning that I put in the comment section this morning.
Oh, no.
Say hi, Tim.
Hi, Tim.
Yeah. Oop.
I'm sure a pretty day.
Well, I knew it was. Mary says, "Good morning, Tim."
Morning, Mary.
8 kids do they not have a TV? LOL. I have a friend with 8 kids, 6 at home. She thinks her youngest, who is 9, is autistic. I'll take it, Kimmy.
I would have bought you some breakfast, but I didn't know you wanted it.
No, I already ate this morning.
Oh,
And I went up to the golf course, talked to Michelle. I walked into the clubhouse, and she's sitting there behind the counter, and she's like this. And I go, Michelle. And she didn't fucking move.
spaced out.
I'm like, is she dead?
I think she kind of looks that way, doesn't it?
Right. So and then she looks at me and she goes, "Oh, hi, Bill." And I'm like, "Oh shit." Did I catch you before your coffee? I mean, you unlocked the damn doors.
Did I get you at a bad
You
time?
turn the open sign on. but I went in there to ask her what holes are open, and she's like, "You'd have to talk to Danny." And I'm like,
Right.
"What time is Danny gonna get here?" She's like, "He should be here now. I shouldn't even be in here." I was just like, I'm standing there, and there's like this long pause,
Oh, no,
and I'm like, "Do you know where he'd be if he is here? Can you direct me towards him? Is he in the kitchen? Is he in the in the bar? Is he out on the range? Where is he? Point me in some direction where I might be able to find him." She looks at me and she goes, "I don't know."
I don't.
I'm just like, oh my god,
Conversation's going nowhere.
right? So I'm like, well, all right, thanks, Michelle. I walk out and well, actually, I got all the way to the door. And I was just about to push the door open, that goes out on the patio,
Right.
And because I came up on the stairs there, and I go, "Do I need a tea time if I want to play today?" And she goes, "I don't think anybody's going to be out playing today." That's it. And she just went right back to arm on her face, just staring off in the middle of nowhere.
Well, she lives like right upstairs from there, right?
Yeah. What?
Probably she had to like drive there to go.
Yeah, she had to walk down the stairs
Yeah.
and turn on the lights and flip the neon sign on. But I went out to the parking lot. I looked around, and I'm like, all right, his car's here.
He's.
I'm like,
Did you check
where
to
the
see-
hell is she?
You check to see if he was maybe dead in his car.
No, and he was probably about 8 spots. He was parked over towards the street side, towards the front. So I walked over, saw his car, looked around, looked outside on the patio, outside the bar, wasn't there. And I walked back over by where the golf carts and stuff are, and didn't see him there. And I'm like, I'm not going to walk around all morning looking for him.
Yeah.
Figure we'll show back up later on, and you got a problem. Hey man, I was here. Michelle said she didn't think we needed a time.
No, you don't have a problem with us walking on. Hell.
She didn't know what holes are open, which ones have temp greens.
It's her golf course. You're supposed to know that shit.
You would think
No.
it would be a good idea. Has anybody ever met somebody that is so clueless, that an owner to a business that is so detached from the actual daily ongoings within the actual business that you wonder how the business is able to survive? This lady pays her employees so little. The turnover rate there is extraordinary. I mean, we've had friends, their kids have worked there, and they've all quit like after a day. People, it's not uncommon for you go out on the golf course to go play there, and you'll find a lawnmower in the middle of the fairway. They just quit. They're like, "I'm done. Screw it. They're out of here." They just walk away, leave everything right there. And sometimes, if a mower breaks down, they'll leave it there for months. It's just sitting there in the thing. But have you ever met somebody who is so detached from their actual business? And you just wonder, how are you able to stay in business? That's what this lady is like.
Crazy.
It is. It's insane. She doesn't golf. She may have golfed a little bit here and there, but she doesn't golf. She doesn't know what's going the day-to-day operations of her own golf course is.
She cares more with the restaurant than she does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She cares about the food service, not the bar, not the golf course or the range or sales or anything else.
Well, she cares about sales. She's all about the sales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, selling you stuff you don't need and overpricing it.
Overpricing everything. Yeah.
Have you frazzled bird? Oh, geez, hold on. I missed your first comment. Alert! People in Arkansas are saying there is a serial killer loose. They say one has been reported, but it's been reported there as two, and it's actually several. I wouldn't be surprised, Frazzle Bird, and welcome to the stream, by the way. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a serial killer there. I mean, there's 100 active serial killers in America right now, according to the FBI. So, right? Just think, 100 serial killers in America who are active. That's scary.
Yeah.
So right now, today, we could walk into someplace and we could be dead.
Yeah. Well, that goes without saying anyway.
Police alleged to put a gag order on the media, FBI involved. That's what many are saying on TikTok from Arkansas. Wow. I wouldn't be surprised. It's like the lady who was on, she won the was it the Food Network's worst cook, the cake cooking or whatever baker, who ended up killing her daughter. They have a gag order on that. Between the Food Network and the prosecution team, and the police. Very little information has been released, and what has been released, a lot of it is speculation. So,
wow.
Bye, Anna. Gotta go, Will, and everybody have take care. Fur babies, much love to you and the family. Have a great day, Anna. Don't forget, True Crime Trivia, Saturday, 7 p.m. Why is she not in my stream? She's texting me, but she's not in my stream. I'm like, well, at least I haven't seen her. I haven't seen her pop up in here. Is anybody seen Margaret pop up in the stream today? Margaret H is her screen name on here. She's texting me, but she's not actually in the screen. My phone keeps on showing the alerts that she is on comment number 9 right now.
Wow.
She's commenting about the stream. Okay.
But she's not sure.
But she's not in. I haven't seen her pop up in the actual stream chat. Maybe she can't. Maybe she's on a well, no, if she's driving, she wouldn't I hope she's not texting me while driving.
That's not good.
I didn't see the video on YouTube where the media reported one of the national parks, but it's just one. I guess the gag.
Okay.
Well, was she here?
Oh, okay. Just a reminder. Okay. How's he going?
The frazzle bird. You'd be surprised how many people go missing on purpose in national parks every year. And according to Missing 411, who is not me, according to him in his book, well, at least the one that I read, was it only 40% or 45%, something like that, of all the people who go missing on purpose in national parks are ever found? Just think about that.
Live streaming right now. Yeah. So we're going to try and go golfing. It's supposed to. Well, it's supposed to be about 60 maybe, and then we got wind and possible rain. So it's all gonna kind of converge.
Yeah.
Probably honest.
Okie dokie. I saw that she became an investigator. Yes,
So,
and I appreciate it, Mandy Hall. In case I didn't actually say it, I saw it pop up. My bad. But Mandy, you now have access to over 165 videos that are not available to the general public to be seen. Live streams, chats, in the community section. You can go to the community page and your member-only posts. And welcome.
All right, love you. Bye.
Jen H. Hi, Will, in chat, doing dishes and listening. Well, Jen, I hope you're having a great day today. I hope you had a terrific weekend. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I get that a lot. A lot of comments from people. You know, they want to know when I'm going to do my next national park update. I'm like, I had no idea who he was for the longest time. I thought people were just, trolling me with the comments. But there is a channel and a creator who does thing that his content is called Missing 411 or 411 Missing. I think it's Missing 411. Bye, Kimmy. Gene, you have a great day. Let me see. I got to go. Bye. Have a great day. Thank you for joining the stream today. Okie dokie. See my last scammer video where I talked about how wonderful these people are. They despise the scammer in their own country. In their country. I haven't actually caught your last one, Zelda. I saw it pop up on my suggested videos, but I'll watch it tomorrow. I don't get a chance to to really sit down and catch up with all the channels that I subscribe to, but I will tomorrow. I will watch your most latest one, unless you release another one between now and then. You seen it, David? He does a really good content. He does really good content. Did you know that? A lot of people go missing in national parks every year, especially Yellowstone.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Yellowstone National Park. A lot of people in Yosemite, but it's like only a small percentage, of those who go. It's not even 50% of those who go missing on purpose are ever found.
Oh yeah. Get swept downriver, do whatever.
Well, a lot of them go to the national forest to end their lives.
Right.
They don't have any intentions of ever coming back. And then at the same time, there are a lot of people who use the national forest to actually commit murders because apparently there's not anybody with cameras watching them.
Yeah. That's kind of
odd. Huh. No, it's Yosemite. Bye, Colleen. You have a great day. Right card imposters.
Every year in Yosemite, there's probably 4 or 5 that fall off Half Dome.
David Pallady's of Missing 411. His son committed suicide recently. It's very sad. Oh, I didn't know that, Zelda. In Yosemite? Did not know that. Oh, that sucks. Nobody's messaged me recently about it. Frazzlebird, you can barely handle this insanity. I'm sorry. Sometimes when it gets to that point with me, I just walk away. Just turn off all the social media and everything and just walk away and decompress. Find something else. Find a book. Or I put on Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Does that not explain to me? I was like, yeah, he probably does that.
Bill's best friends are Oompa Loompas.
Oompa Loompas. Veruca Salt. Canisius Canivs. I really do, because it makes me laugh and I like to watch it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have to wrap up the stream there. Thank you, everyone, for joining me today. 3 missing hikers that were in a group of friends when they went missing right on the Yosemite Falls Trail. Never found. Very odd. Yeah, that would be extremely odd, especially if they're 3 people. But anyways, though, everyone, I'm going to have to wrap up the stream there again. Don't forget, tomorrow night, 7 p.m., we will be playing True Crime Trivia again. And I hope that everyone can make it to that. And if not, I hope you have a wonderful weekend and stay safe out there. Bye.